Suwrah Ankabuwt, the spider, continues the Abdullah Yusuf Ali translation. In the name of God, most gracious, most merciful, Aleph Lam Mim. Does humanity think that they will be left alone on saying we believe and that they will not be tested? We did test those before them, and God will certainly know those who are true from those who are false. Do those who practice evil think that they will get the better of us? Evil is their judgment for those whose hopes are in the meeting with God, and thereafter let them strive for the term appointed. By God is surely coming, and he hears and knows all things. And if any strive with might and main, they do so for their own souls, for God is free of all needs from all creation. Those who believe and work righteous deeds, from them shall we blot out all evil that may be in them, and we shall reward them according to the best of their deeds. We have enjoined on man kindness to parents, but if they either of them strive to force thee to join with me in worship, anything of which thou hast no knowledge, obey them not. Ye have all to return to me, and I will tell you the truth of all that ye did. And those who believe and work righteous deeds, them shall we admit to the company of the righteous. Then there are among men such as say we believe in God, but when they suffer affliction in the cause of God, they treat men's oppression as if it were the wrath of God. And if help comes to thee from thy Lord, they are sure to say, we have always been with you. Does not God know best all that is in the hearts of all creation? And God most certainly knows those who believe, and as certainly those who are hypocrites. And the unbelievers say to those who believe, follow our path, and we will bear the consequences of your faults. Never in the least will they bear their faults. In fact, they are liars. They will bear their own burdens and other burdens along with their own, and on the day of judgment they will be called to account for their falsehoods. We once sent Noah to his people, and he tarried among them 1,000 years, less 50. But the deluge overwhelmed them while they persisted in sin. But we saved him and the companions of the ark, and we made the ark a sign for all peoples. Barge is really the term. It's not these sailboat sort of looking things that people show as Noah's Ark. It wasn't like that. And we also sent Abraham, behold, he said to his people, serve God and fear him, that will be best for you if ye understand. For ye do worship idols besides God, and ye invent falsehood. The things that you worship besides God have no power to give you sustenance. Then seek you sustenance from God, serve him and be grateful to him. To him will be your return, and if ye reject the message, so did generations before you, and the duty of the messenger is only to preach publicly and clearly. See they not how God originates creation, then repeats it? Truly that is easy for God. Say, travel through the earth and see how God did originate creation. So will God produce a latter creation. For God is power over all things. He punishes whom he pleases and grants mercy to whom he pleases. And towards him are ye turned. Not on earth nor in heaven will ye be able, playing, to frustrate his plan. Nor have ye besides God any protector or helper. Those who reject the signs of God and the meeting with him in the hereafter, it is they who shall despair. of my mercy, it is they who will suffer a most grievous penalty. So not was the answer of Abraham's people, except that they said, slay him or burn him, but God did save him from the fire. Verily in this are signs for people who believe. And he said, for you, we have taken for worship idols besides God, out of mutual love and regard between yourselves in this life, but on the day of judgment ye shall disown each other and curse each other, and your abode will be the fire, and ye shall have none to help. But Lot had faith in him. He said, I will leave home for the sake of my Lord, for he is exalted in might and wise. And we gave Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and ordained among his progeny prophethood and revelation, and we granted him the reward, his reward in this life, and he is in the hereafter of the company of the righteous. And remember, Lot, behold, he said to his people, ye do commit lewdness, such as no people in creation ever committed before you. Do ye indeed approach men and cut off the highway and practice wickedness in your counsels? But his people gave no answer, but this they said, bring us the wrath of God if thou tellest the truth. He said, O my Lord, help thou me against people who do mischief. When our messengers came to Abraham with the good news, and they said, we are indeed going to destroy the people of this township, for truly they are addicted to crime. He said, but there is Lot there. And they said, well, do we know who is there? We will certainly save him and his following, except his wife. She is of those who lag behind. And when our messengers came to Lot, he was grieved on their account and felt themselves powerless to protect them. But they said, fear thou not, nor grieve. We are here to save thee and thy following, except thy wife. She is of those who lag behind. For we are going to bring down on the people of this township a punishment from heaven, because they have been wickedly rebellious. And we have left thereof an evident sign for any people who care to understand. To the Midian people we sent their brother Shuaib, Jethro. Then he said, O my people, serve God and fear the last day, nor commit evil on the earth with intent to do mischief. But they rejected him. Then the mighty blast seized them, and they lay prostrate in their homes by the morning. Remember also and the Ad and the Thamud peoples clearly will appear to you from the traces of their buildings, their fate. The evil one made their deeds alluring to them and kept them back from the path, though they were gifted with intelligence and skill. Remember also Barun, exalter of the name, the chief scribe. Firaun, the great house, the royal. And Haman, house of the hidden one, the chief priest. There came to them Moses with clear signs, but they behaved with insolence on the earth, yet they could not overreach us. Each one of them we seized for his crime, of them against some we sent a violent tornado with showers of stones. Some were caught by a mighty blast, some we caused the earth to swallow up, and some we drowned in the waters. It was not God who injured or oppressed them. They injured and oppressed their own souls. The parable of those who take protectors other than God is that of a spider who builds to itself A house, but truly the flimsiest of houses, is the spider's house. If they but knew, verily, God doth know of everything, whatever that they call upon besides him, and he is exalted in power, wise, and such are the parables we set forth for mankind, but only those understand them who have knowledge. God created the heavens and the earth in true proportions of reality. Verily, and that is a sign for those who believe, recite what is sent of the book by inspiration to thee, and establish regular ritual prayer, for contact prayer restrains from shameful and unjust deeds, and remembrance of God is the greatest thing in life, without doubt, and God knows the deeds that ye do, and dispute ye not with the people of the book, except with means better than mere disputation, unless it be with those of them who inflict wrong and injury. But say we believe in the revelation which has come down to us, and in that which is come down to you. Our God and your God is one, and it is to him we bow. Muslim moon. And thus it is that we have sent down the book to thee, so the people of the book believe therein, as also do some of these. People of cults that are profit-based, and none but unbelievers reject our signs, while those who misbelieve, those who cover the truth. And thou wast not able to recite a book before this book came, nor art thou able to transcribe it with thy right hand. In that case, indeed, would the talkers of vanities have doubted. Nay, here are signs self-evident in the hearts of those endowed with knowledge, and none but the unjust reject our signs. Yet they say, why are not signs sent down to him from his Lord? Say the signs are indeed with God. I am indeed a clear warner. And is it not enough for them that we have sent down to thee the book which is rehearsed to them? Verily in it is mercy and a reminder to those who believe. Say, enough is God for a witness between me and you. He knows what is in the heavens and on earth, and it is those who believe in vanities and reject God that will perish in the end. And they ask thee to hasten on the punishments for them. Had it not been for a term of respite appointed, the punishment would certainly have come to them, and it will certainly reach them of a sudden, while they perceive not. They ask thee to hasten on the punishment, but of a surety hell will encompass the rejectors of faith on the day that the punishment shall cover them from above them and from below them, and a voice shall say, taste ye the fruits of your deeds, O my servants who believe. Truly spacious is my earth, therefore serve ye me, and me alone. Every soul shall have a taste of death. In the end to us shall ye be brought back. But those who believe and work deeds of righteousness, to them shall we give a home in heaven, lofty mansions beneath which flow rivers to dwell therein for an excellent reward for those who do good, and who persevere in patience, and put their trust in their Lord and Cherisher. How many are the creatures that carry not their own sustenance? It is God who feeds both them and you, for he hears and knows all things. If indeed thou askest them who created the heavens and the earth, and subjected the sun and the moon to his law, they will certainly reply, God. How are they then deluded away from the truth? God enlarges the sustenance which he gives to whichever servants he pleases, and he similarly grants by strict measure as he pleases, for God has full knowledge of all things. And if indeed thou ask them who it is that sends down rain from the sky and gives life therewith to the earth after its death, They will certainly reply, God, say praise be to God, but most of them understand not what is the life of this world but amusement and play by comparison. But verily the house in the hereafter, that is life indeed, if they but knew. Now they embark on a boat, they call on God, making their devotion sincerely and exclusively to him, but when he has delivered them safely to dry land, behold, they give a share of their worship to others, disdaining ungratefully our gifts and giving themselves up to worldly enjoyment. But soon will they know, do they not then see that we have made a sanctuary secure, and that men are being snatched away from all around them? Then do they believe in that which is vain and reject the grace of God? And who does more wrong than he who invents a lie against God or rejects the truth when it reaches him? Is there not a home in hell for those who reject faith and those who strive in our cause? We will certainly guide them to our paths. Verily, for verily God is with those who do right. And one thing should be very clear. If the Quran is condemning those who are just trying to make people do what's, contrary to their spiritual conscience, if how evil it's not some hypocritical thing. It's like, oh, it's okay to do it to other groups, but if it's done to people of our spiritual community, no. So this is some problem that some people have. Now, as far as the book thing, well, Muhammad not being learned removes a lot of the doubts of the information he got. Was he just editing something down like so many other individuals? Now, sometimes there's a tradition that has authentic roots, but people throughout the world compose sacred histories, and they knew it wasn't straight up the word of God. It may have contained something similar. How much of it? Who really knows? It's not really for us to judge, is it? But outside of that, we can also look at, how some of these New Age prophets, whether they're certainly not prophets of God. You can say some of them are sectarian, some of them are prophets of devils. That's kind of on the rise, I think. And some of them are just false prophets. They don't have any spiritual gift. They're following their desires. They're treating them as gods for the most part, or they're straight up lying. I agree a lot of individuals were sincerely deluded and just, I feel that something should be the case. And it's like, well, that's kind of a sign that it's not, really. I mean, you can consider it as a sort of awareness, but treating that as divine guidance, that your emotions and your feelings are doing something, that's largely overstated. So again, we have this distinction between false claims to religion or irreligion and religion itself.